Hello and welcome to Star Wars Obsessed. I'm Richard, and today I have a special guest. This is my Steve. My Steve.
Am I your only Steve?
Or do you have any other Steve?
You don't have any other friends named Steve?
I do not.
All right. Well, then I am your Steve.
Yes. So this is Steve, a friend I've known for many years.
Many years.
I asked him here to share with me his list.
Mm.
No, you know, first I'd like to ask you, Steve.
Yeah.
What is your connection to Star Wars?
Well, it's not as deep and profound as it is for you. But I mean, I've loved we're around the same age. We grew up with it. I saw the first film back in '77 when it first came out that summer. I fell madly in love, like most kids did at the time. And I've loved Star Wars ever since. I'm not, I can't say I'm a super fan like you are.
No way.
But I mean, Star Wars is and always will be special to me. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that being said, Steve, who are your top 10 favorite Star Wars characters from the original trilogy? Number 10.
Lando Calrissian. Or Calrissian, however you prefer.
All right. Well, can you tell me why Lando is top 10 or number 10?
I don't know. I mean, he's what's not to like? I mean, I feel for him because he had to shaft his friends under Force. You know, I'm terribly bad at this, but anyway. Why do I like him? I don't know. He's cool. I really loved him when I was a kid. I really connected to that character for some reason. I'm not exactly sure why. My mom used to make fun of me when I was a kid, the way I pronounced his name. I don't know. I guess she thought it was really cute or something in my little kid voice.
Do you know what it
saying
what
Lando Calrissian. I don't know.
You don't remember?
I don't remember.
Oh.
I had kind of a lisp when I was a kid, so maybe that was part of it.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, he's a cool character. He's a cool cat. What's not to like about Lando?
Number 9.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Excellent.
Yeah. And we're just going original trilogy only, so he really isn't in it a whole lot. Again, what's not to love? I mean, his character is such a great mystery at the beginning of Star Wars, and then, we end up getting to know him a lot better as the film goes on, and he, makes a sacrifice to help save them, and I mean, he's a great, honorable character. What's not to love about him?
Number 8.
R2-D2.
Yay, R2-D2.
It was kind of weird putting all this in order, trying to play favorites and stuff, but anyway, so yeah, R2 is my number 8. R2's the go-to droid, right? He's there. Like, he's always there. Always able to... I don't know what I'm trying to say.
He's a sassy droid.
He is very sassy. I do love that about him. Just from a filmmaking perspective, I love how well they were able to make him speak, so to speak, based on the different beeps and noises that come out of him.
And convey expression.
Yeah. It's remarkable how well they were able to do that. Yeah. So yeah, I love R2.
All right. Number 7.
Han Solo. Yeah, he scored a little bit lower. Not that I dislike him. It's just that there's a lot of characters I like more than him. I mean, he's an amazing character. He's got a lot of straight guy energy. Maybe that's why.
Oh, okay.
Maybe that's why he scored a little bit lower. I know. I mean, one of the greatest lines ever, but, I wouldn't want to date a guy like that. Yeah, he's a great character.
All right.
So, and thankfully, his character evolves and becomes less of a scoundrel and more of a kind-hearted person. Yeah.
Number 6.
Yoda. I love Yoda.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a Muppet. Yes. Well, I love Muppets. What's not to love about a Muppet?
All right.
You know, he sort of plays a similar role to Obi-Wan in the original trilogy. And again, I saw these films as a kid when they first came out, and you know, he was very appealing to me as a kid because he was a Muppet and he was small, and you know, kids relate to characters that are small like them, and he was wise, and you know, he sounded a lot like Miss Piggy, and yeah, so yeah, Yoda's great.
So before we continue with the list, I want to ask Steve about collecting.
Oh,
So, Steve, you have a collection of Star Wars action figures. And I asked you one time why you stopped collecting, and your reply was,
I don't know, what was it?
it wasn't a thing.
It wasn't a thing.
You weren't collecting. You just received them.
All of the action figures I own are ones I got when I was a kid. Period. I've never bought any as an adult.
I could not understand that he had these action figures, but he wasn't collecting. They were just figures or toys that he got as a kid, and once the parents stopped buying them for him, that was it. And I just had difficulty understanding, why did you buy any more?
Well, because I just found other things of interest, I guess.
That's shocking. How is that possible?
Well, I mean, they meant a lot to me when I was a kid. I played with them constantly. I was very hyper protective of all the guns and the lightsabers, make sure nothing got broken, nothing got stolen. You know, I didn't have a lot of money growing up, so basically, unless I got it as a present, I did not own one or any action figures. I remember really wanting a Death Star playset so bad when I was a kid. And my mom, like, fashioned her own one out of cardboard.
Aww,
I think I showed it to you at one time.
That's so cool. I don't know.
I can't remember. I don't have it anymore. But yeah, she like made her own like Death Star playset for me out of cardboard.
So sweet.
At some point, I reached an age where I discovered music, and music became far more important to me than collecting action figures.
Yes, music is very important to Steve.
But I still keep them because they have a lot of sentimental value to me, and they mean a lot to me. The sad thing is, I had mentioned that I was very protective of my figures and to keep them in good shape and not to lose any guns and all that. And then as an adult, I think it was when I had moved off to college, my mom was babysitting some kids and let them play with my Star Wars toys.
Oh, man. No way.
So, lots of broken plastic capes were missing, lots of missing guns. I think I have like 3 guns left.
Oh.
You know what else my mom did? Don't get me wrong, I love my mom. Rest in peace. May she rest in peace. But she did another Star Wars related thing that really pisses me off. Back when Star Wars first came out, my dad knew someone who worked on the films or was somehow involved with the promotion of the original Star Wars. And he got these huge, glossy Star Wars posters that were just shots from the film. They were amazing. And I think I had 5 of them. And they were just on my walls in my bedroom for years. I just loved them. When I went off to college, my mom threw them away. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I know. Oh my God, I wanted to kill her. I was so upset.
Oh man.
Yeah, because who knows how much they're worth now, because they weren't, publicly sold from what I can remember. I don't know, I was a kid at the time. I'm pretty bitter that those are gone.
That stinks. Sorry about that, man. I'd like you to check out this really cool action figure from the next 17 and tell me what you think. Basically compare this figure to what the vintage Star Wars action figures are and what your opinion is on this figure from the next 17. It's an ISB Officer.
Okay.
One that's never been made by Kenner.
Oh, okay.
So what do you think of this custom figure from the next 17?
It looks good. It looks like a classic figure to me.
Does it look fabulous? Is it like one of the best custom figures you've ever seen?
I mean, it looks like a classic Kenner action figure. It really does. I mean, the sizing, I mean, I'm no expert, but I mean, just from my own childhood playing with them, the gun looks a little bit more detailed than what you'd probably have in an action figure from the 70s. But yeah, it looks good. It all seems to move the same way.
Well, from Steve's mouth, it looks good.
Why? Does everyone hate them?
No. The Next 17 customized Star Wars action figures. This is the ISB Officer. Go to the Next 17 and get some. They are fantastic. I highly recommend it.
Yeah. Are you trying to get me to start collecting again? Or I should say collecting, period.
Collect.
I didn't really collect.
Yeah.
I was just a kid. Getting presents, yeah.
All right, Steve. Now let's continue with your list. Number 5.
C-3PO.
Yes.
Yay.
C-3PO. Awesome.
There's so much comedy coming from his character. What is not to love about 3PO? I mean, he's like mistakenly saving the day all the time. So funny, so fussy, so put out. And he speaks how many languages? I can barely speak one.
Yeah.
I'm jealous.
Yep.
Yeah, I love 3PO. He's awesome.
Number 4.
Darth Vader.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Darth Vader.
Yeah. In the original trilogy, Darth Vader is one of the most amazing villains ever.
Yep.
Ever.
Yep.
Regardless of what we learn about the character in the prequels or whatever, Darth Vader in the original trilogy is a spectacular villain.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I lived for Darth Vader when I was a kid. Lived in that, meaning I just thought he was the greatest villain, because he really is. I mean, everything about him, from the way he looks, the sound of his voice, his presence in the films, just spectacular. I couldn't speak higher of him as a villain. Yeah.
Number 3.
Princess Leia.
The princess.
Yeah.
Yay.
I love her so much.
Mm-hmm. And she'll always be Princess Leia.
Yeah. I think she has the best personality of all the characters. She's very sassy in her own way, and she honestly is remarkably brave. I mean, she stands up to Vader just like, fuck you, fuck you. I don't think so, fuck you. I mean, I love that. She's an amazing character, and, I think part of my love for her is my love for Carrie Fisher, because I love Carrie Fisher too. I wish she was still with us.
Yeah.
I love Leia. Plus, the buns.
Yay! Number 2.
Luke Skywalker.
All right.
So, he's basically, Luke is the character that everyone is supposed to identify with. It's his story that you're following throughout the 3 films, and played so very well by Mark Hamill. And I love the progression of his character, being this little dweeby kid to, being the masterful Jedi he is by the end of the film. And Luke's amazing. What's not to love? Right. Yeah. Awesome. And you're thinking, he's not your number 1. Well, who's number 1?
I think I can guess who number 1 is. Number 1.
Chewbacca. Oh my god. Chewie. I love dogs, and Chewie's like the ultimate pet, Yeah, I just love Chewie. Yeah, he is like the ultimate pet. I don't know if you'd call him a pet, but he's there till the end. They're doing everything to protect you, and he's just so adorable, and you just want to hug him all the time. And I don't know, I don't know. I just love Chewie. I always have.
All right. That is a fantastic list. Thank you for sharing your list with all of our viewers.
Yeah.
Yay!
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Star Wars is awesome. Alright, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and click subscribe. You can follow Star Wars Obsessed on Blue Sky. Thank you, Steve, for joining me in this video.
My pleasure.
And thank you for watching Star Wars Obsessed.
So, Richard, what are your top 10 favorite characters in the original trilogy?
What?
What are your top 10 favorite characters in the original trilogy?
You know, I don't think anyone's ever asked me that before.